classes in session. This is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy. It's all going down. Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. We got a great show lined up for you today. Bitcoin doing a massive dump. Altcoins are getting wrecked. But we got a special guest, Amy Lives Crypto, on the show today. We got a big giveaway. It is 4th of July. We're going to make something happen for somebody today. But guys, it's okay. We're not going to sell, and I'll tell you why also in this episode today on Piper Academy. Let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Piper Academy. I am Army Piper. This is a show that we come at you every single Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. I got a great lineup today. Trade Fly is going to be catching us up a little bit later. He's going to be dropping in. He's running behind today, but we got the OC guy, and we got Amy Lives Crypto. So let's go ahead and let's bring them both up here and see how they are doing on this beautiful 4th of July here in America. OC, I know it's not 4th of July for you. I mean, it's still July 4th, but it's not the Independence Day, which is, by the way, not Cinco de Mayo. Do not say that when you're in Mexico. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good.
You can't see. I'm trying to represent my country today, so I wanted everyone to see that.
She's repping that Bitcoin, that freedom money on freedom holidays. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
So Amy, you've been bouncing all around the place in the crypto space. You've been on not Piano Betty Beast, but on Brad on Infinite Crypto. You've been on. You're trying to do something with Jenna X. Where else have you been? Where all have you been since the last time we had you on the show?
Life has been crazy and life has been busy. Conversations are being had. I mean, I feel so blessed and so lucky and grateful to be meeting the people that I'm meeting. Again, lots of conversations are being had. I had Kelly Kellum reach out to me. Jenna, we're going to collab. Rice has been amazing as well. We're going to do something on his channel. So yeah, it's hard to get out content when you're having all these conversations and, having these little meetings, but it's all stuff that's necessary. And I'm so grateful to be a part of such a wonderful community. And you come for the financial freedom, you stay for the community and the good people. So it's been
absolutely
lovely and wonderful.
Absolutely. OC, how are you doing down there in Mexico with that hurricane coming your way? It looks like it's going to slow down a little bit, but still going to be a pretty significant storm. How you doing down there, man?
Well, I'm starting to feel, that rush, that same rush when you enter a trade, right? And the uncertainty thing that, you got it all planned, should work, is it going, right? You have your plan B, but you still that factor of uncertainty, that rushing factor. But other than that, I think I have it all figured out. I clean up everything that should be becoming or could be becoming a projectile. We tied down a couple of things. I got ready around the house, trying to fix some leaks and weak spots that might be going, south. And the only thing that I'm missing are reserve gasoline, and canned food. I'm going to be taking care of that today. But other than that, pretty cool. Yesterday, we have one of our neighbors shutting the internet for the whole block because he caught the whatever bugs in the electrical thing while he was cleaning stuff. Yeah, I mean, people have been crazy, but other than that, pretty fun. Should be fun.
So you said you're feeling the adrenaline and the rush of a trade because you're in a hurricane. So there's some commonalities and some differences that I want to point out. One, yes, there is an adrenaline rush. There is a risk, but you cannot put a stop loss on a hurricane. There you go. There's no risk management.
I want to correct that. Hey, first time here. Insurance. That is my stop loss.
Well,
Good
that's
call.
true. You
Good
do.
call.
Good
Yeah.
call. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Amy, you've been on here before. We are going to talk about this price action today. We're going to look at these charts here in a little bit. I'm going to talk about some news. Then we're going to go into some charts. And then you and I and OC, we want to talk about hedging, risk management, and how all of that looks on the long side. So before I get into the chart, you know that this Bitcoin's been dropping. Can you tell us how you're looking at the market right now? Like, and what is your short-term plan with Bitcoin?
Yeah. Well, first of all, this is the time where legends are made in the cryptocurrency cycle. I think it's just, you really have to have experience to be able to have such confidence that people have right now. So being in it since 2017, I know this feeling, and the feeling of when the market drops used to really affect me. I was just like, oh, did I think about this wrong? What did I miss? What should I have done? But this feeling is euphoric compared to the FOMO that I feel when I feel like I didn't buy enough. So short term, I am literally grabbing at everything that I can, and every price point that I had marked for myself, I am buying into. This is the 4th of July sale, so I am having a field day.
With the
And
July
I'm
fire
literally,
sales, let's go.
yeah, fire sale. It's only going to go up from here. There are ways to hedge, and a lot of people think that if you're in cryptocurrency, you're throwing everything into cryptocurrencies. I mean, there are bigger plays. You can get into things like real estate. People do things like bonds and things like that. I am so into crypto at this point that I am just taking and allocating whatever I can, moving it into Bitcoin in this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Tradefly in here. Tradefly, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. We were worried about you. You're muted. You're muted. Yeah, you figure that out. We'll go into the news and then we'll come back to you. All right. It's all right. Work on your audio, bro. Just so you guys know, there was a time today where it looked like it might just be Amy and I. We were ready to run like this for the show today. So, but yeah, we got OC in. He got his Starlink up and running. Tradefly running late from work, and so hey, it happens. But we are going to have a great show. Let's go ahead, jump into the news today, guys. And let's talk about what we're seeing over there. Taking a look at the news today, let me do a little adjustment here on the screen because it does look like it's a little bit off. There we go. Oh yeah, let's get that into lock. There we go. Lock and step. We're good, guys. Fear and greed index today sitting at 44. That's what we're seeing today on the fear and greed. We're back in fear. That's okay. People are going to be fearful and they're going to sell, and we are looking for some key levels. We're going to be going over those levels. Let's jump over to the crypto bubble, see how we're looking here. Let's give it a refresh. And look at the daily, guys. It's all red except for OM here, which is Mantra. And then we've got Pendle and FTN. That's really it. If you look here on the daily, 5.9% down on Bitcoin. It's currently sitting at 56,892. We talked about this. It's a key level that we are at right now, but I do think that we are heading down to $50,000, as you saw on that thumbnail today, 50 to 52. And I'm going to show you why we got those levels. We got a full breakdown on that. Ethereum, just over $3,000 right now. So we're watching that closely. You can see Solana getting wrecked, guys, 8.9%. We got XRP down 7.7%. Toncoin down 10.2%, like 11%, 8.5%. It is really, really nasty what's going on today. And there you go. Mantra, Fast Token, and Pendle, and Frax, I guess, the only ones that are up today on the daily. Everything else is red in the top 100, guys. Let's jump over here and look at Bitcoin liquidations in the past 24 hours. We've had 131,585 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $372.5 million. The largest single liquidation, guys, was Ethereum on Binance. It's $18.4 million. It is absolutely insane. Someone lost that much on a single liquidation trade. jumping over here, economic calendar today, guys. Nothing really going on today because it's a federal holiday. It's 4th of July. But tomorrow, we're going to get those non-farm payrolls coming out. Right now, expected to be a huge drop, guys. Was 272,000. Looking at 190,000 on the consensus, 160,000 on the forecast. If you guys don't know, non-farm payrolls, it's how many jobs were added and the unemployment rate tied into it. So these numbers here on the non-farm payrolls are non-seasonal jobs looking to be down on the downside according to this consensus. We're going to have to wait and see. But we've also got that unemployment rate. Unemployment rate expected to stay steady, guys. If this spikes up, we could see a market rally. And the reason for that is because the markets know that Jerome Powell is getting pressure to cut those rates sooner rather than later. So, and then of course, we're going to get average hourly earnings for the year over year and the month over month, all that data tomorrow morning on a 5-man show that we're going to have on here. So it's going to be great. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the quad cam. TradeFly, do you have audio?
I hope I do.
You do. You have audio, but we have audio for TradeFly, no video from OC Guy. I don't know what's going on here, but it's okay.
Man.
We're going to keep on running through this.
Fireworks, but man, we're starting.
I'm telling you, at least we have a cool chart there for OC. That's all that matters, right? So let's go ahead and jump into what I'm seeing on the charts here. There we go. Bitcoin, go over there. Bitcoin go. And then I can also bring up the 4-pack here now because we do have that 4-pack ready to go. There we go. Look, bam. There's everyone's there. Push of a button. I had it all set. Guys, looking at Bitcoin here, I want to point out some key things today. One, we talked about this level here that we could be heading down. There's the 200-day exponential moving average here. I want to turn off this lows, all-time lows, and we'll put on those local fibs. There we go. I said, guys, watch here. For 58,248, we have the 200-day exponential moving average coming in at the bottom of the platinum pocket. We do have candle closes over here showing strong support. We should be able to hold at that level, maybe a wick down below. Guys, we have not wicked. I'm looking at a daily right now. We have not wicked. We go over here and look at this 4-hour, and you can see we are continuing down to the 1-to-1 line. This 1-to-1 line coming in at this bottom peak that we had right here on the 1st of May, and we're going to be watching that closely. But I want to do some things here. I've got several things that I want to show you guys. One, let's turn off the local fibs, and let's put on the low to all-time high to low. And so if you guys don't know, this fib is pulled from the high of the low of the 2019 to the high of last cycle to the low of the 2022 time period. And so these are fib-based trend extensions, okay? Or trend-based fib extensions, I should say. I had that backwards. It's okay. We are in the golden pocket. You take a look here. We rejected almost to the dollar at the top of the 887 on this trend-based fibs. We did get a nice test in the golden pocket, came back up, could not fully come back up and commit to the 887, pulled back in. We did have support here on that 0.66 of the golden pocket, and now we are coming down into that golden pocket. We have a key level here. But I think, as per that thumbnail, that we're coming down to the 300 moving average for the high side, the low side being the 50% fib right here at 48,500. I just put 50,000 for the sake of simplicity. We do have the potential to pull down this far. I told you guys about 52,000 a while ago that I thought we were heading there, and that is coming in right here along with this 300 exponential moving average. But I am thinking that we do have the potential to head down here. Now, there is a couple of things that I want to show on some other indicators that might give you a little bit of a reason to think that we're going to go to this level. This is a downward channel that we have here. And if you take a look at this falling channel, guys, it is coming in at the bottom right here in line of this also. So there's one point of confluence that I'm watching there. There is one little bit of hopium that I'm going to bring to you guys at the end of this, at the end of running through the cycle here with everybody. And I'll show you what that little bit of hopium is, and we'll see if it plays out. But as of right now, it looks like we are heading down to at least this $53,000 to $52,000 range. Looking at the oscillators on the daily, you can see that we have gotten confirmation of downside flip of the ribbon from that move, and we are coming back down in. We can still run quite a bit on the daily to get all the way down here to this 10% of the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. So I'm going to pass it over. I want TradeFly to go ahead and pull up his heat map. Maybe we can look at the high time frame of the heat map and see how this is looking, and then we'll see what you guys are looking at on the chart for OC and TradeFly. We'll bring it back. I'll give my little dose of hopium, and then Amy, let's talk Bitcoin. Let's do that, lady. Let's go over to TradeFly's chart, see what he's got.
Right on. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming because we've been talking about this for a long time. So here's my my speculation, we'll call it. All right. There's a lot of liquidity sitting right around 50K, between 50K and then probably as low as about 49,250. So what's going to happen when we come down there? Well, one, they're going to want to clear out that liquidity, right? So when they clear out that liquidity, what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a cascading effect, and that would align right with what Piper's saying, somewhere around 48K. But let's go to the chart and see what we have on the chart as well. And this is a part of the reason we're looking at this range. Okay, so right here is really the last pit stop that Bitcoin had before it made its move up into its current range. All right, so we've been in that range, and we've talked about this before since February. So before that, this is the last stop. All right. So what you have here is what's called a naked point of control. You see this little yellow line here. I'll kind of highlight it a little bit more for you so you can see it. But you got that right there. All right. That's at about 51,850. I think odds are at some point we could come down and touch it. Now, that being said, all right, and I don't want you to freak out, because even if it does come down to that area, let me make this a little bit better for you. All right. See this right here? The trend is still up and right. And even if it were to come down to this area where 51,000, 48,000, and you can see too, one of the things that you should do on your charts is go ahead and mark your 2023 highs, your 2022 highs, and have that on your chart as well. Don't think for a second that it couldn't act as resistance or support in any case. Okay, so that's an opportunity for some support there at 48,373. Again, you keep hearing that 48 number, right? I think it's going to cascade through. I think people are going to get shook out in this area if it does come down there. I think they're going to get shook out a little bit. It comes down probably to the 2022 high, and that's where I think you ultimately find support. But what I want you to see still is that it's okay. All right, because even if you were to make that move, I'm going to draw this line for you now. If you make this move from here, let's say to, 4. I would look at the trend line right here. You still have bullish structure. Okay, so it's still up and right. There's arguments to be said that, hey, it's still just a higher low, because you would take this one into account here, and then you would take this one into account here, and then you still have bullish structure, and that's okay. People get shook out of the market. The market grabs all that liquidity, and the price still has the opportunity to go up and right. So I wouldn't get too scared. What I have done, and we've talked about it before, is I just have open orders sitting there just waiting. They've been waiting there for, I guess, probably over a month now. But it's probably been a couple months that we've been talking about this, probably more than that, actually. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. And that's actually where I have my dry powder sitting, so right now I'm just kind of trading intraday, doing some small trades here and there, $400 or $500, no big deal. But this is the one where I have dry powder actually sitting and waiting. So just want to point that out to you guys. I'll flip it back over to you. I don't know, Piper, if you had the Hopium or if OC has something to follow up.
I'm gonna kick it over to OC and see what he's seeing on his charts, and then I'll give you that dose of Hopium, and then we'll have a conversation. So, OC, you got to share your chart. You got to share your chart, bro.
Yeah, there we go. Share it. All right. So basically what I got here is that we are getting all the way down at these levels. There is a little bit of a thesis that I think that might be happening. Everybody now is looking at this area of liquidity, and I do believe that we're going to be hitting it. In fact, that's what I have my open orders already. That's when I start getting my FOMO money getting ready. And then absolutely, I don't think that I'm going to be using it, but my last piece of dry powder is going to be allocated right down here all the way to 43, 41. Again, I don't think that we're going to be there nonetheless, but here goes what I'm thinking. Again, well, this is not a thesis. This is only a thing that I believe is going to happen, which is trying to tease everybody to go here, but make just a week, just barely enough to touch it or not to touch it, and then flip around and keep moving upwards. Remember that we've also been looking at the Wyckoff pattern. Let me see if I haven't removed it. Well, it seems like I did remove it. And this could be what I was actually just complaining about not being the spring, but this one could very much be the spring and then tease us all out right here. Nonetheless, just for clarification, I do have open orders at 52,800 and another one at somewhere around 50,300, something around those areas. That's when I start allocating my money. But I am also ready for maybe a fake out with a big wick downwards and then a quick recuperation to the price, to the area that we've been looking at, to this range right up here. But yeah, other than that, Trendfly, I think you're very much on point, and yeah, not much to add on to that one.
There's one thing that I really didn't talk about too. Like we're at a support area right now. Like this is the one that we bounced off of, that Piper made the call on previously. So there's an opportunity right here, even on kind of intraday, maybe even like scalping, is that we wicked pretty much. Well, I won't say wicked. We came right back down to an area that we've already been to. So the thing though, that when I look on the chart and when I start looking at the prime oscillator, I would have to probably see another touch in this area for me to feel a little more comfortable that support area is actually going to hold up. But for right now, I mean, there's hope there. All right. So I won't call it too much hopium, but I mean, right there at about 56,495, we had that wick off of there previously. That's where we got that bounce. That's where we made it. That's Piper made a great call there. So, I'd be interested to actually hear to see if Piper thinks that there's an opportunity for price to hold up there, even though I don't really like.
It's funny you say that.
Second touch. I'm not as comfortable because it broke a trend. So it broke a trend, and we had kind of like a retest of a support area, and then you had that continuation down and right. So I feel like there's a little bit more pressure this time with the price coming down and right. And it makes me really, this is probably even the bigger discussion, is Mt. Gox really a thing now? Like we've been hearing about it for years, but now we have.
Well, we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all that with the discussion right after this. So
all right.
That's the big.
I know where you're going. Pull
back on the thrusters there, pilot.
Let's do it.
Let's jump over here and take a look at what I'm seeing here. First off, guys, shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat right now. I bookmarked this morning because he said, OGs have taught me and I've listened on the feed. I've stated I have Bitcoin orders set just above 52K months ago when Bitcoin was ripping. Seemed crazy then, but the charts don't lie. There was a huge volume gap down to 52, and there's a fair value gap from where we are all the way to 52K. It's free fall zone. There was a small note at 56-ish. We hit it. The takeaway isn't. I was right. No, the takeaway is follow these OGs and learn for yourself. You too can become a millionaire. At Frankie Candles, at Crypto Lifer, at Jason Casper, at Alex O Crypto. Shout out to Alex O. At Army Piper. Much love to you, bro. And at Tom Crown there. So I just wanted to show that little important thing there, guys. A lot of these times when you hear these numbers talked about, you got to remember that they could be wrong. But if they're right, you got your order set and you're going to pick it up. Because let's be honest, when the price starts selling off on a major devil candle or starts pumping on a major God candle, sometimes you can't get in there quick enough to catch that stuff. And it can be a wick and V recovery like in the blink of an eye, and you're going to miss it. So when you hear these numbers, just put orders in. Doesn't matter It doesn't matter if it doesn't get hit, but it will matter if it does get hit and you weren't ready for it. So don't be scared, be prepared, as Alexandra G said on X this morning there. So let's jump over here and see what I'm seeing on the chart here, guys, so that you guys can get my little dose of hopium. You guys ready? We're sticking to the trend. Let me go and put on my 4-pack here. There we go. Trade fly came in late. I didn't have it set for you. Here's your little dose of hopium, guys. You guys ready for this? So we talked about this downward channel, right? That we can come down to this range here at about 53,000. Hit that. I'm looking all the way down as low as 48 would be a previous wick back here. But watch this. You want to talk about respecting the trend. There you go. There's an upward channel. And guys, we are right now fighting to hold that level. The candle wicked perfectly back up, and it is holding on the daily right along this trend line at the bottom of this parallel channel. You guys can see this goes all the way back. Yep. This goes all the way back to 14 October of 2023 for the bottom side of that. Beautiful touch and support. And now it looks like we are touching the bottom of this again. So we are at a level of support that could be the hopium that we need. And if we go ahead and do consider that we do have this wick area here, we've got a double level of support. So we've got confluent support levels from a diagonal and from a parallel horizontal line trend. So diagonal trend and a horizontal trend that we're watching here closely. But I do still think that the most likely is the 300-day exponential moving average. So I just wanted to pull that up. And before we have this conversation, let's just jump over here and take a look at the Eric Wallen chart. It's his favorite chart because it's my favorite chart, and he calls me out for it all the time. Guys, I've said as long as we are sitting here, these are weekly candles, as long as we are sitting here in this range, we are good. And we can wick down below this. That's fine. But we need candle closes inside of this range that is above the 887. That is 55,971. As of right now, we are still sitting in the normal trade range, just like we were back here early on in the cycle, March of last year through October of last year. So you guys think about when this started? It was around February, almost the end of February, getting into the beginning of March. Are we setting up for another sideways action here to do what we always do? So let's go over here and talk on the, let's go over here and talk it out. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Where are we right now with Bitcoin? We just talked about the prices, but where are we in the cycle? What is your strategy? I know that you've got a lot of experience in financial strategy and how you manage your investments, Amy. So I'm going to kick it off to you first. Like, how does one approach this? They look at this, it's bleeding off. They're watching their unrealized gains just disappear. What does Amy Lives Crypto do?
Yeah, so for me, I think the first thing that I always ask clients, or I mean, even just loved ones now that I get to like educate freely and I'm not like closet crypto person, time horizon is a huge thing. I think being educated in the space is a huge thing. So your basic understanding of what cycles do and what's expected of the technology. For me, so often when we run into these holidays where everything is kind of shut down, so many people, as far as like big institutions or whale investors, they don't want to be sitting on an order that's open for a long holiday. And so some of that big money may have gotten out right before. And so we see things falling. A lot of people don't want to have that kind of in the back of their mind when they're spending time with families and have this, long wait in between Monday, the next opening day. So a lot of that could be all of that spot money that's just sitting until Monday opens, and they see if it's still low, then they'll buy in. So for me, time horizon is a big thing. Again, I am so for this technology and where it's going. Long term, I think after the election hits and we kind of what comes to fruition there with, one of the biggest people running being for crypto now, I think that's going to also pump some hopium into the crypto conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing too that I want to point out is that if you are in crypto and you're looking at this as a get rich quick, are there crazy tokens out there that can turn 500 into a million? Absolutely. But the risk on those and the rarity of those is far and few between. Very high risk, very, very rare. You would have to buy 1,000+ tokens to get that one, right? But I've talked about my portfolio a lot with the community, and I'm about little over 50% Bitcoin and Ethereum. Mind you, Ethereum is taking a little bit of a hit with the alts, but not near as much as the other altcoins. So one thing that a lot of people ask, like, are you selling? Well, am I selling what? Because that matters, right? Am I selling my Bitcoin? Absolutely not. Am I selling some altcoins that are way underperforming right now? Absolutely. And I do want to pull something up here just to show you guys, because I talk about this chart a lot also. This is the total 2 minus Bitcoin. And I told you guys, this is a trend level that I'm watching here, looking at the previous cycles to the trends here. These are 1 week candles. You can see here, we come back down and we test this before pumping up after the cycle cup, right? We have a resistance level, a support level, where it becomes support, then resistance. We reject on it almost there, get above it, retest it, and then that is the total 2. That's your alt season, guys. Right now, alts are getting absolutely wrecked, and they're pulling down to this level right now. So we've got another indicator that says, look, we're at a key level of support. It's not completely over yet, and we can wick down below this. We can wick down below this as long as we pull back up on a weekly candle close and keep it above this line. We are set up for an alt season, but that doesn't mean that right now I'm not looking at doing doing some recalculations and maybe put some of this stuff for safety reasons into dry powder for these lower lows, and put some of these high risk altcoins that I'm still in profit on, but a little bit down on, getting that profit margin's getting very small, right? Put some of this stuff into Bitcoin to protect it. I don't need to catch the bottom of the next alt run again. I only need to get into the next alt run. And right now, the number one job that I have is to protect my high at risk money. So I just want to put that out there. TradeFly.
So much.
Amy, go for it.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to say to that, one of these new terms that I've kind of coined in having conversations with people is, just like anything else, you need to have good trading hygiene. And so if you're into different things for long-term plays or short-term plays, don't get complacent on what you have open. So if there are things that you have made a lot of profit on and you think maybe they're going to peak out at this time, get out of it, move it into something safer, and make sure that you have extra money to grab those degen plays in order to make those quick profits to rotate in. So don't get lazy. Tune into channels like this where they're giving you all that information.
Much love. Appreciate that. TradeFly, what's your thoughts? How are you managing your risk at this level, at this point of time, looking at these price action, looking at these charts, it's dumping down. You haven't really been hodling much this cycle. You've been trading. So are you shorting everything right now? What are you doing? How are you running with this?
No, unfortunately, I didn't short it because I did see a lot of support underneath of the current price action, or where the price action was.
So 52K.
Yeah, and I didn't, man. I told you my play right now, and I guess we'll take it into the hygiene discussion, is that I have open orders sitting at certain price target areas, and so I am really looking to swing trade. Okay, so my little trading money, I have about $1,000 or so right now that I'm actively trading with long and short positions, but my dry powder is waiting at those target areas. And so, like I said, one of those big ones is at about 50K. I think I have it at 52 because I want to front run that movement down. I think that will find support at about 48,000, but I also don't want to miss that opportunity of the price coming down there and knowing that the top side of that range could actually act as support. So that is there. And that, if we don't actually go all the way down, then I miss a massive opportunity to get into Bitcoin at about that price area. So that's kind of the way that I'm playing it right now. I'm being pretty conservative. I'm going to enjoy my holiday. I don't have a lot in the market right now tied up actively, probably only probably $4,000 or $5,000. Some of it's HODL, some of it's, trades, but most of my capital is sitting on the side right now, and I'm just waiting patiently. And I've been waiting for a long time, but one day we'll get there. Maybe not. But the thing that I tell people all the time, they're like, well, you don't think Bitcoin is going to go 50K? Well, that's fine. Cool. If it doesn't, then I'll just move that money around, and maybe one day it'll come back down to 56K, and I can just move that money to that position. It's not that big a deal, and just let the market play out. So, that's kind of how I'm approaching it right now. Pretty conservative.
Awesome. Yeah. And shout out to the Investing Bros. We just got a bunch of their members just rolled in here on a redirect. So welcome to Piper Academy. We're talking about Bitcoin, just to refresh you guys. We're talking about Bitcoin. We're looking at some key levels around the $52,000 to $48,000 range. We did show on the charts why it could be heading to that level and why we're at some key support. I'll give you a quick synopsis on it right now. We do have a support level running on a long range trend here, looking at the daily upward rising channel there, and we are at support on that with the 200-day exponential moving average. But when we go in and we take a look at what we have for the fibs, let's do this downward channel. There we go. We do have this coming in on top of some key levels here. This is a 300-day exponential moving average coming into the bottom side of a falling channel that we're also in. And I do think that we are going to get back here. We got a nice little volume node back there. If we pull a fixed range volume profile here, just want to give these guys a quick update, and then we'll get back to OC on this conversation. If we pull this from the low here and run this over, you'll see we have a nice volume node coming in right here also. That's this little piece of real estate there in the price action. And so I'm watching this level here of about 52.8 down to as low as $48,000. And also TradeFly did show on the heat map, massive amount of liquidity on the heat map down there in that range also. So OC, let's kick it over. Let's talk to you. How are you managing your setup and your risk right now? Are you just toddling through? Are you moving out of any of your higher risk tokens to sit on some cash right now? Or are you moving over to Bitcoin? What's your strategy on this?
Well, at this point, I'm very close to many of my entries on altcoins. So I don't know. Sorry.
Easy there.
And sorry, too many dusted things yesterday. All right, but the thing is that I'm not ready to start selling at this point. The altcoins that I have are projects that I really like, and I'm not going to let them go as easy as possible. But I absolutely stand behind what you guys have mentioned, especially what Amy mentioned, that taking profits on those altcoins might have a significant impact when you find the opportunity for those degen movements within your portfolio. At this point, I'm trying to play it out safe, especially because, the SEC thing on Mexico came after me and nothing bad happened, but I'm taking a break of trading traditional markets. So that's how I was started balancing my wallet. So now that that part is gone, or I'm not that actively trading, NVIDIA, Apple, so on and so forth, I'm looking at different opportunities. So something interesting, and I want to thank Crypto Pollo for this idea. It is looking at a hedge, right? Because shorting for me, it is not actually a hedge, because you are betting against the actual odds of the same asset. It is much more difficult or much more risky to short Bitcoin that historically have been moving upwards, right? And basically, you don't have a lower point to call out your loss or your short than long in Bitcoin, because the lower that it can go, it's to zero. And I don't think
absolutely
we're going to zero. Right?
Absolutely. I want to give a major shout out here to Wix. Wix just dropped a wonderful gift to our members here, 5 gifted memberships for Piper Academy here. And he said, go subscribe to Amy Lives Crypto. Her link is in the description below. And Alexandra G is probably going to drop it here in just a second right here in the chat, because she's on that. So shout out to Wix. We appreciate that. And, we're going to be doing a giveaway today. So unfortunately, these ones aren't on the list. I might try to add them in. Let me see if I can add them in for this giveaway. We're going to go ahead and shove them into this list today. Let me go here and do this. And I will get these updated while we go. So, Amy, do you have any responses to what everyone here just said? Any differences or anything that you think might be vital information for the viewers to know? So, while I put these names on.
I mean, for all of us who are U.S. citizens, I mean, happy 4th of July. OC Guy, you're not here in the U.S. with us, but you are such a blessing to America. Alex O is in the chat. I know he's our Canada friend that we love so much. I would just say, I honestly think that sometimes people who invest in cryptocurrencies are looked at as not patriotic, but we literally are the most patriotic people. We have such a wonderful life here. We just need to fix the money a little bit. So honestly, it's just, if we didn't care about America, I don't think we would push for what we believe in. And once we can fix the money and fix the well-being of everybody, then I think we can start to really enjoy the fruits of our financial freedom. I was sent, and I don't know if you want me to share it now, Piper, but I was sent a trailer last night from another person who's actually in this film that's coming out. So for those of you who are seeing family today, I don't know if everyone got to see my shirt in the beginning, but I will be representing financial freedom today when I go to the cabin. So if you're having those conversations with your family, I just think maybe watching this trailer, it gave me a lot of hopium just behind my belief in everything. So if you want to watch this, share this with your family, I think it would definitely be a good conversation starter.
The most transformative aspect of Bitcoin is really almost a social economic experiment. You know, can all the users of a money be in control of the monetary system?
It is the people's money, and that's truly revolutionary.
I do think that most people are undereducated about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin really is the foundation for true monetary independence.
This is the internet of money.
Bitcoin is the people that are over the bullshit.
The dollar will dramatically lose its purchasing power. The more they print, the more it gets diluted.
Who it's good for is the people at the tippy top.
And with Bitcoin, you just can't do that.
The current fiat system is going to collapse.
We're going to see huge changes in our lifetime.
We're in a phased transition of society. It's more than a financial revolution.
The psychological implications of Bitcoin are profound.
Bitcoin does represent freedom.
Bitcoin is truth.
There have been intentional disinformation campaigns.
Most people who are skeptical think it's primarily used by drug dealers and money launderers.
Highly trackable, highly traceable, not built for criminals anymore. 90% of US dollar bills have cocaine residue on them. Which currency do criminals use the most? I think their preferred currency is the US dollar.
But Bitcoin can't be destroyed, can't be hacked.
There's no single entity in charge. There's no single point of failure.
So you could hate Bitcoin and it'll still benefit you.
So that's just a little snippet for you guys, but it's just, for me, I just look at that and it gives me so much just hope for our future. And to say that somebody who invests in Bitcoin is not patriotic, I think it's the opposite. I think America is an amazing place to be. And I feel like some people in power just lost their way. And as a people in crypto, we're getting them back on track because we love America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that he was talking about, that it is not the preferred currency of laundering and criminal nefarious deeds, right? That's the US dollar. I worked in threat finance.
No residue on Bitcoin.
Yeah, I worked for many years in threat finance, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like narco-terrorism. We would hunt them down, tracking the money, follow the money, right? That's what they always say. We wished that everybody would use cryptocurrency because it's much easier for us to follow, and I don't have to get a warrant in order to track these bank accounts when it's on the blockchain. It's public record. So I wish everyone had used blockchain, but they won't. Why? Because it's transparent, and criminals know that, but stupid politicians don't, and it blows my mind. So shout out to Alex O Crypto dropping a $20 Canadian super chat. $20 in Canada is like $1 million in the US or something. I'm just joking. But no, shout out to him. He said, family first, hope you go buy the dip, sub to Amy, stay focused, stay focused on the long term. God is good. So there you go. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, and shout out to everyone that has joined us here today. I want to jump over and talk about some other news because we've talked a lot about what's going on with the Bitcoin and what's going on with some stocks, though. We've been hitting all-time high on the traditional markets. And I got to show you guys Nancy Pelosi making some moves in the background, just so you guys know. First off, Nancy Pelosi sold her Tesla. Tesla position worth $500,000 approximately. She's also purchased an additional $1.2 million of NVIDIA and $5 million of Broadcom, which is AVGO. So just so you guys know, she put this out. Mind you, these are periodic transaction reports. So this is what she has done. She did this back on June 24th and then on the 26th. So the most recent one was something with Visa here, a partial filing status, 2,000 shares. She sold a Visa there. But yeah, she sold her Tesla. She bought NVIDIA. She bought Broadcom. Just so you guys know, Tesla is now the 12th largest public company in the world. The stocks fell also now just 1.5% away from being up year to date after falling a lot. It fell in a significant amount. People bought that dip. This is an example of why you buy the dip, guys. After that, it went up over 80% and has added $350 billion since April of 2024. So she sold that. She took that. I'm betting that she probably bought that down at the bottom. I wonder how she knew to do that. And now has put it into NVIDIA. She's now doubling down on that NVIDIA move. You can see it here. It says she made millions buying NVIDIA over the last 2 years. It appears that she is now doubling down on the chip stock. Our chip stock setting up for favorable legislation and or support. So let's talk about that for a second here. First off, Nancy Pelosi, got to be the greatest investor ever in the history of the world. But yeah, we'll leave that one alone or not. We might poke holes all over that one. But what do you think about what's going on in the tech sector? What do you think about what's going on with the overall stock market? And what about Nancy Pelosi doubling down on NVIDIA when it's at this high of a point? Is this a good call? Should we take note here, Amy?
I mean, for all the people who have copy traded her, I mean, they're doing well too. So, I mean, kudos for people who actually track that. I know that is something that a lot of people follow and a lot of people would come in and ask direct questions on. I don't know. For me, I feel like, yes, we know that the chip sector is going to be huge. I know that a lot of plays are kind of getting on blockchain to be able to share and recycle that. So chips aren't necessary as much, but the technology still has to be built on that. For her to do something like this, she knows that she's being tracked and watched. Part of me and a lot of people who were having the conversation on Twitter were saying that it was more of a play to diss Elon. I think that people are constantly trying to like tarnish him. And so it's almost like a dig at him in a way and less so much for NVIDIA, because to buy it so high is also making a statement. Belief, yes, but I think there are other things that are going to need to come in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to point out, we've been talking about the liquidity of the Federal Reserve a lot on the show. We talked about that's starting to pump up. And something that we talked about yesterday is this here, that these bonds, TLT, it's an ETF on bonds, right? And they recorded $2.7 billion inflow last Monday, on Monday alone, the largest inflow on record. It's $4.4 billion of inflows for the year, $2.7 billion of that coming in all in one day. And so I do think that we are sitting on this precipice of massive Fed Reserve influx of liquidity. When the liquidity exists in the Fed Reserve, for everyone that's watching right now, that is when we get asset pumping. And keep in mind, though, this is a lagging result. Like, the effect of this will take a couple of months. Excuse me. It'll take a couple of months. So when you have this couple of month period, that would run that summer that we were looking at there, running into October, when we had that last previous cycle of pullback of that trend there. And if that is the case, this is going to line up perfectly where that liquidity starts to rush in, especially if those job numbers that we're going to start seeing indicate that we have to cut those rates sooner. And then if that is the case, and we're starting to look at rate cuts being cooked back in on top of liquidity hitting the Fed Reserve, we could get an astronomical pump on all assets. And that is one thing that I am watching closely, is that TLT, that ticker, TLT is the ticker if you guys want to watch it. But as it ticks up, that means that money is flowing back into those bonds. That means people are buying the debt, if you will, of the U.S. And then that money, they get a return back on that because they got some pretty decent rates of around 5% plus. So smart money puts, $1 million over there. Every $1 million they put over there is $50,000 in returns, right? With no risk. So if that liquidity is returning back, we could see a significant pump and rally on the asset market. So real fast, Amy, just tapping on your historical knowledge. What do you think of that? Do you think that we look at like September, October for a massive return rally to all of the assets to include the stock market?
I would say that does make sense. I mean, that's always kind of been viewed as the safe money. So yes, with the lagging indicator and that coming into play, people are going to have money to be able to put into things. So it makes sense. And yes, a lot of people, when they see that at first, they do not say that it's a lagging indicator. So some people jump in too early. I think that's a pretty accurate time frame to expect that.
Awesome. Well, that's what I'm watching for. That I'm playing the long game here, as Piano Matty B would say. We're playing the long game, and we're watching this stuff closely. So, TradeFly and OC, we're gonna try to get one altcoin. So, if you guys want to select one thing that you're watching on the alts, to go over for TA, we're gonna go ahead and jump over. Let's do this giveaway. Let's give away some shit today. I love it. Let's do it. All right. So I got the names on here. We got Bobby C. Dude, Black Eyes, Tevin 10, Wix Wife, and A to Ace all added on here. They are the 5 new members that joined today. That got from the gifted membership. There's from Wix. So Wix, your wife picked up one. Congratulations. But let's go ahead and Amy, I'm gonna let you pick. Give me a number between 1 and 5, so I know how many times to shuffle this.
3.
3, 1, 2. 3. There we go. We've shuffled it 3 times. It's time to run this, and we're going to see how this plays out, guys. Here we go. We're going to give away $100 in crypto. Let's say I'm just going to do it in USD Tether. We're going to do Tether. Or USDC, you let me know if you're the winner, your choice. That way you guys can hold that, because I don't want to give you a token that's on its way down. I'd rather give you guys some dry powder, and you guys can invest it however you want. So how about that? We're going to do USDC today. Here we go. Let's kick it and see who the winner is today. See what we get off of this. Spinning, 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 spinning. It looks like Bobby C. Bobby C, congratulations. I know you just joined our Discord not too long ago. You just won today, so you are the winner. You just won $100 USDC. Get a hold of me on the Discord after the show, and we'll get that sent over to you. I just need an address from you, brother. So congratulations to you. And then we got another giveaway today, guys. This giveaway here is going to be for some In and Out merch, In and Out crypto merch. TradeFly, do you have that site pulled up? Can you pull that up real fast just to show people what they got over there? And we'll show that. And then we'll show that, and then we'll jump in and we'll do a giveaway. I love it. Let's go.
Boom. InandOutCrypto.com. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
I just got some swag.
Yeah, so I told him any t-shirt. I told him any t-shirt, whether it's an all print or if it's just, whatever, but they've got some really good t-shirts on there. Scroll down there and show them those Bitcoin tees just so they can get an idea. Give them the Bitcoin tees.
He's got so much good stuff on there. And ladies, he has swimsuits on his site also. He said that he was going to put bodysuits on there for women. So he is like doing everything for us.
Yep, he's doing great stuff. Rocco is the man. So yeah, we're going to be giving away a t-shirt. So you guys look on there. If you're obviously in the Discord, if you have this, take a look at that and then give me the picture of the shirt that you want and your size. We'll coordinate it all on Discord. But we will get this going and give a giveaway on that. So let's go ahead and do this wheel spin. This is for an In and Out crypto t-shirt. So you can rock some swag. Here we go. Who is it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's Bedredden. All right. Well, I tell you what, Bedredden, I'm going to see you in October in Switzerland, I believe. Not Sweden. It's either Sweden or it's in Norway. I don't remember which one that we're going to meet up at. Anyway, we're going to be there in October. So I'll bring the shirt with me, bro. That'll make it easier on all of us. So I don't know if they can ship over there. So just in case, I'll bring the shirt to you. But congratulations to Ben Redden. He won that shirt. So that's awesome. I love it. Let's go ahead. Congratulations to today's winners. And Amy, thanks for giving us that shuffle. You guys can all thank Amy. It was Amy's shuffle that put you in the position you were in. So at that one moment in time that changes everything after, that was Amy saying 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're seeing here on some altcoins. TradeFly, we got about 5 minutes total. So let's jump over to you real quick. What are you seeing on your charts for your alt pick? It looks like Caspa.
Caspa it is, man. You know, that's the hot coin in my life right now. So taking a look at Caspa, we did get some action here off the 382. It looks like I have 2 charts up, one on a long term, one on a short term. Short term one, it looks like it pulled back here to the golden pocket. So let me go ahead and take this one off. There you go. Clean it up a little bit. And so you have the golden pocket here on the shorter term time frame, just basically to this low, to this high, so you can see kind of where I started that fib retracement at. But I actually, full transparency, see this green line? That is where I entered a long position for Caspa. So I was looking for a pullback. I was actually looking more so at the 4-hour time frame, because with that, what can you see here? The dynamic reactor. So I was anticipating some support right there with the 0.5 as well as a dynamic reactor. I like the confluence that I saw. However, the market pulled back pretty hard. Thankfully, Caspa's held up pretty strong in comparison. It was already pulling back, but it was pulling back because it hit an all-time high. All right, so the expectation was there. I figured there was going to be a retracement. That's normal. That's kind of the pattern that we've seen for Caspa. Goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back. And then hopefully you'll see that movement up and right again for Caspa. It's a strong project. The fundamentals are there. And there's some hype behind Caspa right now. I think that it's going to get listed on some exchanges here. You know, I would say, I'm not going to say in the near future, but I know it's just a matter of time. And more people, I think, are starting to really learn about Caspa, even though we've been talking about it for quite some time.
For sure.
I think Crux has been, he's been doing his own little deep dives on Caspa as well. He's been involved in, I think, some of the beta testing. Or at least he's been watching it. So yeah, I'm feeling good about Caspa. Like you can see right here, I am just over my entry. I will say I'm not super comfortable with it. I just based on where the market is. But like I said, there is support where we're at 56K for Bitcoin. That's the big thing. That's the line in the sand. Let's be honest. If Bitcoin drops below 56K, all this stuff is probably going to pull back. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set a stop loss under the golden pocket. I think the bottom side of that golden pocket there is a nice little area for support. So I'll put a stop loss underneath of it. Again, small capital play, so I'm not too worried about it if it does fall. Not that big a deal for me, but that's where I'll put my stop loss, somewhere about, I'd say 15.5 or so. So 15 cents, right around there, 15.5. So
perfect.
That's what I'm looking at Caspa. So I'm hoping for some up and right movement here.
Sounds good. Shout out to FD White, by the way. He's in the chat right now. OC, what do you got for us? Real quick update and recap, and then we got to bounce out of here.
Absolutely. Really quick on Quanta, we were looking yesterday. Remember that I drew this manual trend line, and we were looking for that either breakout or bounce. I rather than the zero line here, so it seems like we break out. Look at that beautiful short position. If you took it, now it is what I would be taking some profits. I told you guys that I would not be shorting right now at this moment. I rather reallocate my money lower down below. And also, if we only isolate into quant, this could be a good opportunity because we already have seen that we are basically forming that weak spot or that absorption zone right down here with that candle wick, right? Although I still not gonna be jumping in quant at these areas. I want to see the flip of the ribbon actually happen, and also I want to see what's happening with Bitcoin. So I want Bitcoin to basically have another absorption zone, or at least bounce to the dynamic reactor for me to try to catch quant on a small long position. Other than that, very quick, just to make things faster, guys, I did share with you this link where you can follow Nancy Pelosi and see all of her movements as Piper was showing. Also, how much money, where did she got it, and also the percentages. So go follow her, greatest trader in the world. Also, I will be sharing this. Oh, yeah, I will be sharing this chart for you guys. Yeah, which is what Piper have been talking about. I configured ChatGPT with a couple of things that will be making things more sense so you can follow up. So if you're not part of the community on Piper Academy, make sure you do, because I'm going to be sharing simplified technical analysis things. Other than that, turn it back to you guys.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. That is awesome work there, OC. You are the man. Amy, thank you for joining us today on Piper Academy. I hope that you got your fill of getting your opinion out, your input, your insight, because it's very valuable in my opinion. If you guys don't follow Amy Lives Crypto, you've got to go check out her content. She's creating some fire stuff over there, and she should have 20 times more subscribers than what she has right now. I'm telling you guys, she does great content. So thank you for joining us today. You got anything for the people on the way out today, Amy, on this beautiful 4th of July?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and happy 4th of July. Any morning that I can come and be with the guys talking alpha, talking crypto is a good day. I guess I would just leave everyone with, we love you, we see you, we're so grateful for you. I mean, God is good, America is great, and Bitcoin is freedom. So let's just all spread that gratitude, and whether the price is down, we're good.
Right. TradeFly, OC, what you guys got for TradeFly? We'll go to you first. What do you got for the people on the way out, bro?
Hey, as always, great mixing up with you guys. Amy, thank you for coming on the show today. It's super appreciated. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. And with that, I'm out.
Boom. OC, tell these people what they get if they subscribe to Amy Lives Crypto and hit the like button on this video.
Oh gosh.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh. I'm nervous for this now.
Let me get started with saying that, Amy, you are one of our favorite guests in the show. Every single time that you're here, time goes by, and I always want to ask you more questions. But guys, make sure you go follow Amy Lives Crypto, and also to click that like button here and also there on her channel. Because if you do, remember that firecrackers that you are going to be using today, well, they will be exploding twice as hard up in the sky, no down in the ground. So
not on your hand.
That button. Exactly. And keep all of your 10 fingers.
All right, man. That one was pretty tame. I think
it was good. It was family friendly. I love it. Hey guys, we're gonna be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Tomorrow, 5 Guy Fridays. We're gonna have Lunar Beaches Crypto on. We're gonna have Blackie Chan on. BC Port Corp is his show. We're gonna have them on. TradeFly, you gonna be here?
Yeah, I'll be here.
OC, hopefully you're there. You've got a hurricane, so we will be ready for a 4 Guys Friday. But right now, 5 Guys Friday. Hopefully, keep OC in your thoughts and prayers, and he will be here for that show tomorrow. Guys, until then, thank you for joining us today on Piper Academy. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get notified when we go live every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, trade safe. As always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Round off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.
What are you guys still doing here? It's 4th of July. Go spend time with your families. Be safe. Later.